So my question is a financial abundance question. For 20 years, I've enjoyed business growth and expansion and financial abundance and all the good things that come along with that. And when the recession came and hit my industry hard and my business hard.
Grid.
My question is, yes, thank you. So my question is it my disallowing, or is it the economic realities of the recession that's blocking my financial abundance?
Well, it doesn't matter if it's a reality or your perception of a reality. It's the vibration of your being that affects you, period. So there are a lot of people who say, well, we live in this world and we cannot put our head in the sand and ignore the reality. And we say, well, you can observe reality as it is, or you can create reality. It's your choice. But most people are recreating reality based upon the what is that they are observing. And it's why things go slow for you. And it's why you feel uncomfortable. In other words, the answer to the question is the same in either way. But many of you say, well, this recession or this state of affairs, this is big, this is valid, this is real. And we say, there are always people who thrive under the worst of conditions. Sure. And there are always people who suffer mightily under the best of conditions. This is a time when those who have and those who have not, the contrast between them is becoming more stark. There could be a complete restructuring of all of the finances of the world or even of your nation. But let's say a global restructuring where it is all gathered and all divvied out and all given to everyone evenly, and it would not be 10 years before it was right back the way it is. Because law of attraction is a powerful, powerful thing, you see. So you get to decide where you play in this. Our question to you is, when you talk about the recession or think about it, how do you feel? Does it make you feel empowered or disempowered?
Disempowered.
Does it make you feel in control or out of control? Is it an in the vortex or an out of the vortex conversation? Does it allow your grid to fill in with opportunities that we promise you are out there? Or do you join the masses who are depriving themselves of the opportunities and using what is as your excuse to not let the future be different?
Okay.
Want to talk more?
One last question. Is it
all of that is conceptual, and we know you get that. Right. And it's really easy for us. We pay no rent.
I feel like I prepave it, but it's like I'm frustrated at the lack of speed of getting there.
Well, the frustration is your indication that in the moment you're not getting there at all. In other words, frustration is a valid emotion. If you're frustrated over frustration, we don't blame you, because frustration means, here's a good visual for you. So your financial well-being is far mightier than it was before the recession. What's in your vortex is exponentially greater than it ever was before. So here it is, ready to reveal itself to you in interesting, fascinating, satisfying ways. But you're holding a closed door because of your attention to the economy. And your frustration is your indicator that you're barring the door, or at least hindering it. So your singular work is to find some way to think about finances in a way that doesn't feel frustrating. If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would try to find a way of thinking of anything that doesn't feel frustrating, because chances are, if you go to the specific topic of financial freedom or financial well-being, you're going to activate what's already active and bar the door more. So you have to go to a general place that opens the door. Something that is working, something that feels wonderful, something that's easy to feel good about. Do this basic general grid work. You can even get off in the future. Everything's going to turn around. There have been lots of situations like that. Often after a big bust, there's a big boom. Things always work out. There are enough of us that are resourceful enough. Now, we're on the topic, but we're being more general. Or you could leave that topic altogether. There's much more to well-being than finances, although finances do play a big part of it. And so that might be difficult for you to detach yourself from that. But just find some way to get general about something. It's a beautiful day. The sun came up this morning. You have no idea how important that was. And yet it's rarely something that you focus upon. And have you looked outside today in in this magnificent city? Can you feel the beauty of this planet from this particular vantage point? So as you focus there, you just can't help but feel good as you focus there. Esther and family were up at the top of the Ferris wheel on the pier. Kate said, I can see the curvature of the earth. How can you not feel good in a moment like that? How can you not feel good? That's grid work. That's grid work. And every moment that you're doing that kind of grid work, in other words, not even on your to-do list to bring the sun up this morning, we don't imagine. But as you acknowledge it and you use it as your reason to feel good, as you use anything as your reason to feel good, you come into alignment with who you are. And then the specifics that you have identified, the specifics, hear this, the specifics that you've identified, when your grid work is in place, the specifics on the topics that matter the most to you will begin filling in. Now, what subjects matter most to you? It's interesting. We say to people, don't bring the thing that's bothering you the most to this discussion, because the thing that's bothering you the most, you've got the most concentrated momentum going in opposition to what you want. But now, focus for just a moment on that momentum. Even though you've been thinking, maybe, more about what you don't want than about what you do want on this subject of finances, your vortex, hear this, took the bounce. So what you do want is huge, even though you're vibrationally not in the vicinity of it. Are you following? And now you're focused upon the beautiful day. Now you're focused upon the well-being of this day. Now you've got nothing activated in you, or now you're meditating. What's going to happen? What momentum is going to fill in the things that matter most to you? An idea will come. An idea will come. An idea that will come that will flash you with such enthusiasm that you will know the rightness of that idea. And now you've got something more specific to think about. Now don't try to take that idea all the way to fruition. Don't try to figure it out. Or if you do, just be aware of what happens to your emotions. If you might take a dip when you do it. The rule of thumb is be as specific as you can be while still feeling good. Aren't you eager to get your hands in this clay? Don't you want to see what you've put into this vortex? Aren't you eager to watch the timeliness of this vortex to fill into your grid? And isn't it worth finding a minute to meditate or to appreciate or to acknowledge the well-being of your life experience? This is the reason that we've been telling you. It's step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 1, you put it there. Step 2, it's there and Source is bringing it to you. The delivery system is already up and running. The cooperative components have already been established. Everything's ready for your receipt. All you got to do is chill. Find a reason to chill. And in most cases, that means get off the specifics that have been holding you out of sync with what you want. Best we've ever said it.
Thank you.